Hello, welcome back. Laura Jane here. And I was plotting to go live on Facebook to do this video. But then I discovered there was a little disconnect in my technology. For some reason I didn't have the live button on my computer, even though it's on my phone. But my phone camera kind of sucks. So I decided to just go ahead and make a video and post it in my usual ways and figure you're going to catch it at your leisure anyways, which I think is the way a lot of us watch our stuff these days. So here I am. And I felt inspired to share some of maybe some yoga meditation ideas to extra specially handle ourselves at this time, as perhaps the energy's extra intense. If we are feeling influenced by the astrological things going on, and even moon cycles with full moons and eclipses, and some energy people talking about portals opening and big times of transformation. So I like that kind of thing, and it's exciting to feel like there's a collective shift happening, and I find it does soothe me to recognize maybe it's not just me feeling extra intense, and maybe there is some collective thing going on. But either way, whatever we call it, whether it's personal or collective, in a yogi way, it still is about how are we going to respond to that in a way that's more connecting for us, and in a way that even helps us expand and use this time as a powerful shift that it can be. So yeah, I think, maybe we're noticing extra energy, more intense energy, more tension, and even just a feeling of overwhelm perhaps, or scatteredness, or maybe some of us are feeling tired or looking for ways to kind of lift ourselves, or whether we know it or not, probably ways we can reconnect. So I think a more connected approach to this, a more yogi way to handle ourselves, is things like you see me doing, closing our eyes more often, being willing to use things like stillness and motion to help. So the power of just being still and trying out relaxing as much as we can. Using things like our breath can really help at times like these that are extra intense and transformative. So even just more of a belly breath, I feel, really helps to get even more oxygen, more energy in. And to use our exhales to relax and let stuff go. And of course, being aware of our attention and our awareness, aware of our awareness and our focus as very yogi things to do. And choosing to place our focus, attention, and awareness on things that we do choose and that do feed us and fill us and direct us toward more how we do like to feel about life and our loved ones and our future. There's a little beep happening outside. Oh, there it goes. So also just noticing things like the beep, indicators, if we're getting symptoms, if we're feeling out of balance, there's the beep again, that we can take that as just an indicator that maybe it's time to slow down, get still, get quieter, breathe. And also using things like motion. I've become a big fan of walking, and I've always loved dancing. And of course we've got things like the yoga poses and various forms of exercise to bring us back into our body, and to even use that as a form of like energy medicine. So to find the things that work for us, but to be willing to do a little extra energy medicine on ourselves at this time. So maybe extra walks, extra time with poses or dancing or whatever it is that you find connects you and also helps you work with the energy that's going on for you in your body. So yes, more attunement to how we're managing that energy and looking at how things like stillness and motion and quiet and sound, music continues to be a great tool in that it is another way to set our focus and to even harness our attention, and it even is a vibrational way to shift ourselves. So putting on music that we like and that feels like a good fit for us is a great choice. Or also just silence might feel really good too. Yeah. So these are just some yogi ways to enjoy the ride more, and maybe extra journaling, extra time just listening to ourselves, and whether that's in the journal or just listening in our minds as we are walking or dancing or in that stillness, and also of course the power of closing our eyes and just listening to what is happening for us, what's true, and finding ways to love ourselves through that and get into our non-judgment. So it can all be a great invitation into going more deep with our practices, being willing to own how we're feeling, notice how we're feeling more often, more deeply too, really helps. So keep a feel, keep an eye, keep an awareness on how you're feeling as your indicator as to how much of your practices maybe that you need to build in that day, and that you can always do things in just seconds, in just minutes, and perhaps throughout the day is a really great way to fit it in. Or you might also like building in a good solid chunk of time for some of these things that you know center you. Lastly, I think I'll mention that I am a big fan of taking the start of the day seriously, in that really sets our focus and our momentum. So making sure we start our days in ways that center us and align us and refresh us and boost us toward the kind of days we want to have. So yeah, a yogi thing to do would be to enjoy each day and make the most of it, and recognize that life is precious and that we're even here to get into our contributions and ways to help. So the more efficient we can get with our self-care so that we can get to work and get to play in the world, the better. So recognizing that, realizing that, owning that is some of the leading edge work we can do on the planet at this time, it turns out. So thanks for listening, and I'm always here with a readiness to answer your questions, especially if you have specific things you're looking to shift. And yeah, let's have fun with this potent time of full moons, eclipses, and portals, if there are such things going on. And maybe in a yogi way, really get into what that might mean for you and what you would like to allow more of in your life and in yourself, and know that that's part of your yoga too, part of your union. So thank you so much, and love you. Namaste.